There it goes. Okay, the levels are now okay. What was I even working on? I put down a ton of these furnaces. Just kind of a little bit over there. Yeah, it's bees. It's involving lots and lots of bee breeding. We have to get these apiaries automated. I don't know. I've been kind of thinking a lot while like after I did my Greek study session, I've been thinking a lot about what am I going to do next. And there is some vintage computer stuff I do want to do. It's like I mean, I hate to just go random shrug emoji, but that's kind of how I feel. So, yeah, I don't know. So we were doing a whole bunch of bee breeding, and we have to do it to finish this pack. Yeah, but cultivate queen. We need to kind of get those automated, and one thing I realized we definitely need to do is... oh, that's actually finished. Alright, so... There was an alchemical chest in the nether that I couldn't grab earlier. Oh, well, the lava column is going down slowly. Oh, and that's that blaze from earlier. Alright, can we grab this chest without it falling into the void? Nice. Ooh. Even with creative flight, it takes a while to get up to the platform. Alright, I mean, 4 viewers, not bad, considering... East Coast of the United States is 9 hours behind me, so... No, is it 9 hours? It's... See, I'm used to doing the time difference the other way because I lived on the West Coast for so long. But East Coast, it's still kind of screwing with me going from the East to the West. All right, let me put you in there so I can copy this easier. Because that's the best chest I can get in this pack. And I think I can get what's called an alchemical bag. Yeah, it's this. Alchemical bag. Wool, a chest. Yeah, that's like the best backpack I can get. So, oh, I actually have the wool. And I also know I have the covalence dust. Yay, backpack. Because we need all that coal dust. We need to make a lot of solar panels, and we're going to use that to start basically turbocharging our EMC production. Alright. So this needs to be cleaned out, and I gotta put a blaze rod back in. So all this is going in here. Let me grab a blaze rod so we start making EMC again. And I can throw those drones in here. Yeah, no, it's not doing 486. It's, this bed is occupied. Oh god, it's old glitchiness. I just... Why is this just crapping out? Oh, yeah, stop extracting. Please stop extracting. That's just going to make a mess. I've noticed that my view, I've lost a fair bit of subscribers over the last few days, but you know what? I think I'm okay with that. It's always been kind of a sore point for me because, you know, it's like grow the channel, that sort of thing. But I can't be doing YouTube and just... I don't want to use the word hate because it doesn't describe it well of what I've been experiencing, but... Wrong thing. Aside from the fact that I know I'm actually going to need all this coal dust, I think I made too... I would say I made too much because the high-end solar panel that we need to make is obscenely expensive. Hey, Corey. Yeah, it's going to be a quiet night tonight. All of 2 viewers. I think YouTube is starting to penalize me for streaming non-stream stuff. Ooh. Like, maybe I need to use something besides Apple Music for the music. Because the volume slider is just completely broken. Plus, I think the video is just kind of glitching out tonight because I think my internet is being incredibly crap. Streamlabs Streamlabs doesn't have the warning, it's just YouTube that's complaining. Alright, let's see if we can make that high voltage solar panel. We've got all that. We basically just need a ton of electrical circuits, and I completely filled this up with rubber. So that's nice. So let's fill you up, and I really miss having shift click. And we watch it all just become cable. You are my circuit builder. I need more redstone than that. And I also just remembered I had to throw a blaze rod in the system to make it go. Yeah, here we go. Blaze rod. And that will start making EMC again. Not that we're particularly hurting for EMC, but I'm pretty sure we're going to need more. Oh, I also have to throw the lever. Which lever was that? It was... yeah, that one. And that one, although you're out of coal. Or do you just... yeah, you... do you not run on coal? Charcoal? Do you need, like, actual coal? Now, that doesn't make sense. I think I just had the lever front in the wrong position. Because I am very smart. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I had the lever in the wrong position. So now I'll just start making EMC. I don't know. It's been kind of a challenging thing because as things stand right now, it's like... alright, did this purify... this... you're cultivated common. And you became cultivated diligent. That's actually not good. I really need cultivated. So yeah, we have one drone. Let's chuck that in. And you did not mutate in a useful way. Of course you didn't. That being said, that one might be useful. We're going to have to keep working on these bees. I'm not going to focus on it, at least for the moment, because it does get a little repetitive even for me. But I do want to get all the honey centrifuge, because I also need the honey for the Bealyzer. So we'll chuck that in. And that goes fine. Alright, so... circuits. It's what we need to make. Let me grab all this refined iron. throw, and then we're going to need basically a few stacks of redstone. There we go. Redstone. And we basically just want to make as many as we can. There we go. So one. Wow, that went quick. That went a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, and now we're out of cables. So each solar panel, because what we basically need to do is make lots and lots of that. Each one costs 2. So we don't even have enough for a stack of solar panels, which is kind of why we needed all of that. So let me make some more. Let me grab some more sticky resin, because ingot, cocoa beans. Finding sticky resin in this table is an eternal nightmare of a challenge. Mushroom doesn't help. Try wheat. Sticky resin. And then we chuck it in the super furnace box. And that'll just make basically as much as we can get. I'm assuming I don't have... How much more can I get? Yeah, I can't get a whole lot of cable. That's a problem. I can get basically 2 stacks of circuits, which is nice. So go to our little alchemical bag of coal dust. Grab 3 stacks. Yeah, so why don't we just start with 2 stacks of solar panels to get the ball rolling. And then we just need 1, 2, 3. Oh, right, we need the generators, which, that's going to be a little bit annoying. So you can go back in here. This needs to be cleaned out, because I'm going to need that crafting table. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. We'll see how far that gets us. I have that distinct feeling it's not going to get us anywhere close to far enough, but we will see. So 1, 2, 3. Solar panel, long solar panel. And you need generators, which actually needs a ton of RE batteries. That sucks. And a ton of refined metal. If I use the bottom recipe, that is actually quite a bit cheaper, although we need even more wire for it. Because of course we do. Alright, fine. Let me grab what tin I have. Redstone. This is going to be expensive. For an RE battery, what is that going to run me? This is Feed the Beast Retro. Corey, sorry, I'm not looking. It's dealing with the fact that I just have poor internet here in Greece. Even with a dedicated connection for it, it's still pretty terrible. I have, like, no spare cables. How are you coming along? Oh, we can make more cables. Let me grab a little bit more, just keep some sticky resin in my inventory, because we're basically just going to be making as many cables as we can. This is going to be a long crafting process. Alright, so let's grab a stack of cables. And then chuck them in here. Do I have more tin? No. And then some redstone. And I can use those. Like that. Like that. I don't know what to do. The only way I could solve the frame drop issue is by going to 720p, and maybe I will start doing that in the future, because I was really hoping that this would be a reliable solution for live streaming, but apparently it's not. Yeah, well, the problem is that it's either VDSL or it's 5G. I'm using the 5G connection right now. Sometimes it's really good, and a lot of times it's just complete crap. Oh, yay, those only stack to 16. Can I get another set of cables, please? Yeah, I can. Alright, and 16. That's annoying. Alright, fine. We'll put these in here. And then let me put the drones in here, because I want to see if I can just make one high voltage solar panel. If I can't, I can't. But if I can, it'd be awesome. Can I get... I think I put a gold in... Yeah, I can get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... like that, and then we can get a full stack of furnaces. Boom. Alright, so this becomes that, then we put 1, 2, 3, and then... and that's all my refined metal basically gone. I'm assuming I don't have any more in here. Nope. So, gotta cook some more up. Alright, you know, I'm seeing the argument to actually using, I'm sort of seeing the argument to actually using logistical pipes to do this. And then we let that cook. Alright, and while that's cooking, let's see if my honey is done processing. Because I gotta see what the bees are like. Yeah, 52. That is plenty for what we're about to do. So, Bealizer. Honey drop. You're still going. Please tell me you didn't lose... You got the inactive trait, inactive, inactive. Did I get a spare drone with that trait? Cultivated, diligent, forest. So I still have a chance of getting it, but it didn't stabilize like I was hoping. So, cross our fingers and see if we get it. And then we have these cultivated drones. Is this a stable breeding line? Cultivated, shortest, fastest. So it didn't fully stabilize, but the species is right. The problem is we lost the worker speed trait, which is unfortunate. But I was breeding more cultivated, so let me see what we got over here. Because if I got one with the slowest, diligent cultivated, that may have some use, because we will need more cultivated, but ooh, I'm getting unlucky with this. Fast and fast. Alright, I guess we'll try it and see if we can get it. Like, it's not end of the world if I don't get it, but it would be... It's like, it's such a dramatic increase, and cultivated bees are the best source of that trait that I have access to. I might want to try... Yeah, I don't know what I want to do with these. I'll throw these in the box for now until I decide. This is going to be a giant thing to clean out given time. What was I doing with this one? I don't even remember. Cultivated common. That's a junk drone. And that's a junk drone. Did I have one with fastest worker? I had this one. Not a great combo, but maybe we'll get something useful out of it. And it looks like I was breeding more commons over here. Alright. This should be done cooking. Well, it's not done cooking, but it's enough to get me what I need. Yeah, you know what? 63 is fine. So now we just turn that all... That's literally all going to become solar panels. Are you kidding? Oh, come on. I have to click them out one at a time? Alright. Fine. And you know what? I actually have a spare generator, so let's just get a full stack. So let's see how far that gets us. So I think we need an LV transformer. Well, that's easy enough. Just some copper and some cable. Okay, and some oak logs. Yeah, like, watching the subscriber count actually go down is a little bit depressing. I'm going to need a bunch of these, I just realized. It's like, why did I only make one? I need to make quite a few of these arrays. So let's try that again. I'm just going to make, like, a whole stack. Well, not a whole stack, but that should do it. So this should get me 8 low voltages. And that becomes 1 medium voltage. So we literally have to do that process. We got to do that process a lot more times. That's going to kind of suck. That's fine. We'll come back to that. And when I mean come back to it, I need to just craft more crap. So let's just get right to it. Because we need that high voltage tier. So you literally needed the everything. So let's give you the everything. Can I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And then that's done. And then I gotta put more sticky resin in because the needs of industry never go away. So I almost think it's going to be worth upgrading that to a red matter furnace. So there is a way to get a lot of EMC from bees that I discovered reading on the Feed the Beast wiki. This pack has 2 special bees. I don't think I have the charging bench. But we need a lot of circuits. What did it run out of? Yeah, you ran out of cables, which is waiting on more rubber. So where do I have? Yeah, so there's some rubber. I don't have. Oh, that is actually going to kind of suck to automate, because I need how much would one of those furnaces set me back? DM furnace. Yeah, those are $1 million a pop. I can afford a few, but that's just going to be expensive. Like, really, really expensive. And we literally only have 1/8 of what we're going to need. I wonder if I think I might need to rethink my approach to this. I think I'm going to change my little AFK corner. Thinking some energy condensers that may... Yeah, I think I need to automate rubber. I need to automate refined metal. So I can do that with an energy condenser going into a furnace, going somewhere. The problem is I only have the one furnace. I could get to... How's our EMC production going here? Because this has been running for a bit now. Okay, I suddenly feel like the fears about us not having EMC just went away. Yeah, suddenly I'm less concerned about it. We might even be able to afford a red matter furnace, which would rather drastically speed up this process. Because we not only need yeah, see, I mean, that's already 1 million EMC right there. Actually, it's so much EMC that our Klein star can't pull it all out. That's actually a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. That is an actual problem. That means we need another one. Crap. Yeah, okay, that takes everything out of the table. Right, so we need yet more EMC storage because the way this mod works is incredibly annoying. That burned just half of our total EMC, getting another one of those. Oh, and it starts raining. And in the bed we go. There we go. Hey, Kefrenel. Yep, resin for the resin gods. It's going to, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a grind to get there. Unfortunately, we don't have much in terms of good auto crafting. Like, this is the sort of thing logistical pipes is actually meant to, like, do. I really don't want to set up logi pipes. That is going to be such a grind. It's not that it's a grind. It's just every time I play with logi pipes, I'm thinking, oh, nice alternative to AE2. And then it just becomes this utter nightmare of wiring, piping, and crap. But I can make it better if I set up a line of energy condensers. Let me actually... I'm going to want to snag this energy condenser, just so I can teach it to the table. So let me first empty you out. Burn, burn, burn. Okay. Energy condenser. And, you know, they are actually reasonably cheap, considering that our EMC production is a lot better than where it was where you were sitting right there. You know, I can actually use this thing for, like, storing other stuff from my inventory. Like, I have a backpack. I should use it. But where's my Buildcraft wrench? Alright. So that's going to make EMC. Let me get some energy condensers, because if I can just basically have bulk piles of crap sitting everywhere, it's going to make this process a lot less horrible. We can burn those for some EMC. Put you back in. And let me just grab... Yeah, let me just grab a bunch of condensers. So the reason we want the condensers is we can basically just set them up as chests that we pull out. Yeah, we can't afford more dark matter furnaces, which is... Well, we can afford them, they're just kind of pricey. But yeah, this isn't good. This is a matter of making the grind bearable more than... Or I shouldn't say the grind bearable, because we're going to need at least 2 HVs. We need one for the quest, and realistically, until I can get off my ass and build a nuclear plant, which I can't even do until I build one of these flipping things, yeah, it's going to be a process. So let me empty out the inventory. Let me make more room, because empty inventory is going to make this a lot less miserable. How much do the induction furnaces cost? Because I feel like induction furnaces with a pipe is absolutely the winning move here. Because I can automate... Of the stuff that we actually need, tin, redstone, we can do. We can auto-craft the cables with either an auto-crafting bench... I mean, I think the auto-crafting bench is actually probably the easiest way to do it. Aside from the fact that I gotta get the copper in there somehow. But even if I just have the rubber automated, it would... Yeah, you know, I'm thinking an induction furnace is actually the right call here. So... Where did I put these solar panels? Let's make the medium tier, and let's actually use it, because I think an NV solar array to power this is actually going to be... Yeah, so you just need a machine block. That's easy. I just need you and you. Like that. That. And that. NV transformer. And then we have 128 EU per tick to play with. Cool. So we could power... Yeah, because then we can use electrical engines to do the extraction and insertion from the furnaces. So let's set up the... where do we want to put this? Because this is going to get kind of messy kind of quickly. Yeah, I think right here makes sense. So let me clean this up and extend the platform. Yeah, the problem is I think it was dynamic pathing in this version. Like I said, every time I've played with Logi pipes, I've just found it to be kind of annoying, and it doesn't really help here, because ultimately I'd still have to automate all these processes. And realistically, I've done much more complicated crafting with bulk crafting. The problem is I usually have better pipes to do it with. Although we do have pneumatic pipes. Maybe this is the time we get into that. You know, I was going to work on biogas this episode, but I think getting the solar done actually makes more sense. So we now have a medium tier voltage. So that's just 128 EU per tick. That's just going to basically spit out as much as we want. We need an MFE, which we actually already have from when we were using the electrolyzers. So I think we just need, what do we have for furnace options? We have electrical furnace, iron furnace, and the induction furnace. I'm thinking the induction furnace is the winning move here, and we just need a machine, advanced machine block for it. So yeah, we can make that. We can make that trivially. Like, I will say that just by streaming something that I actually enjoy for once has done quite a bit to kind of mentally get me back into the mood of making content. The biggest thing is, like, you know, my channel is known for doing vintage computer stuff. And, like, I can sort of make the mental argument on, you know, this is vintage modded Minecraft, so it's related. Sort of. Alright, so energy condensers. So let's set up a row here, which is basically just going to be have the energy condensers that make the raw resources. Yeah, we'll just do something like this. And I can move my bed. We'll put my bed over here. There we go. So each one of these, tin, copper, redstone. Yeah, let's just start with these. Because this way, if I set these tables up, like so, I can just throw blaze rods into them, and they will just make a ton of the resource. Like, if I just chuck... Yeah, see, like, just like that. That's exactly what I want. And then I can just grab the stacks and go with it. So, or, like, I can also just grab, like... Yeah, why don't we just, like, grab a stack of diamonds? And then we'll just throw... Yep. Now we have all the copper there we need. Do the same with the redstone. And then do the same with... what was the... Oh, yeah, the tin's already in there. So just do that. Actually, tin's a bit expensive. So now I can just grab those stacks of materials and then craft them. Now we just need to get the rubber and the refined metal cooking. And then we are, like, completely in business. So, right, so let me grab a stack of copper from the box. Yeah, see, that is so much nicer. I have an electric furnace. I thought I had an electric furnace in here. I guess I don't. Electric furnace is an iron furnace. Okay, those are... That is cheap. That is nice. That is cheap. Grab a stack of redstone and some circuits. Boop. Boop, boop. So hopefully this works the way I think it's going to work. I realize I think we're going to actually need 2 of them, but let me place it down and just look at it. Yeah, so this takes power, it turns it into heat, and when it's basically going full tilt, it should be a very fast furnace. I think we're going to need 2 of them now. Which is fine. My wrench is in here. But let's just set one up for now. So, I don't know how much I actually like this setup, but these ones are unused, so I can break them without problem. Okay. us have some light, soft music to listen to. We'll put these energy condensers down. And we need some alchemical chests. So, because what we'll do is we'll put the iron in an energy condenser in the top, and then we'll eject it out into a pump. I think I need to transform from NV to LV. Yeah, I think I need a transformer. So, let me get a transformer. And somehow my inventory is already filled with crap again. Yeah, so that will let me convert down. At least I hope it's going to let me convert down. It's been a long time since I've blown up a machine in Industrial Craft. Hopefully this is not the day I do it. And then we kind of want the good cables. What do we have for cable options? Okay, glass fiber cable is the winner here. Because we can just make all of that, like, trivially. Throw that in there, throw that in there. Basically, everything I can get for more inventory space. Yeah. So grab the redstone. Grab a diamond. You know what? Fuck it. I'll grab a stack of diamonds. Hopefully I have more glass somewhere than there. I guess not. Alright. So yeah, let's just make a whole bunch of the good cables, because I really don't care. Usually when I play with Industrial Craft, I upgrade the cables to this tier anyway. Just because it's easier. So we'll put the solar panel over here. Yeah, we'll just use a glass block. We'll put the, not the transformer. Medium voltage battery. Because this also gives us a way to power all the pipes we're going to need. So that go there. That go there. Yep, and that's charging. Cool. So now what we want to do is we take the wrench you that way. And then we want to step it down to, I believe it has to go the other way. Let me... I believe now this will generate... There's a good chance whatever I put on there is going to explode, unless... You know what? Hold on. There's a less stupid way to do this. Instead of using a transformer block, let me just make transformer upgrades. That is a lot simpler. Transformer upgrades. You need an MV transformer, 2x gold insulated. Okay, so those are a little annoying to craft, but they're not terrible. Yeah, that's just, it's annoying, but like I said, it's not terrible. So if I need, what do you cost to make gold wire? So you're 4. Okay. Actually, that's reasonably cheap. All right, let's just make a bit. Do that, and then transformer upgrade. Yeah, so now we just need to make the grab another stack of that because we need another transformer. Actually, I probably should make a few of these, so you know what? We'll just do that now. Yeah, just grab machine holes. Grab that. 2x insulated, electronic circuit, and I've got circuits. And we just basically do that. Because now I can just run this machine on medium voltage directly. So first I need to make sure the machine is not plugged in, because it will blow up if I do it as it is right now. Induction furnace. And that is not the music I want. Yeah, I mean, I remember it being that way. I just realized that this doesn't take transformer upgrades. That means I do actually need to step it down and flip. Yeah, the uninsulated cables, I tried that once, and I think after the third time I electrocuted myself, I just didn't anymore. I'm pretty sure it's, of course, the Industrial Craft Wiki is down. So it can process up to 2 stacks of items. So actually, this machine runs on LV directly. So you know what? Let's just plug it in and hope it don't explode. Okay, it's got power and it didn't explode. So that actually does run on LV. So let's put a lever on it so it just is always heated up. Because when I was playing Age of Engineering, I had one induction furnace that basically ran my entire ore smelting line. Yeah, that's just going to take a while to heat up. Okay, cool. So now we need some electrical engines. I'm pretty sure the electrical engines will run on LV. Forestry crap doesn't explode, and I can't imagine it's going to be that sucky. I mean, it might be, but who knows? All right. So wooden transport pipe, go there. Alchemical chest, go there. And then we just put the electrical engine back here. Please don't blow up. Okay, cool. So that just needs a lever, and it's good to go. So let me grab a lever. Lever. And a block to put the lever on. We're going to need a second electrical engine, and I'll probably need to make a few of them. But... okay, so that should start pushing items. So you're heating up. Let's see how well you actually work. I remember it being fast, but just because I remember it being fast doesn't mean it actually is. Also, did I, like... yeah, I didn't put any sticky resin away to... oh, I have some in here. So let's put a block... actually, we can put a transport tube there. Energy condenser up here. Sticky resin is what we want to generate. Chuck a diamond in. Chuck a few diamonds in. Yeah, we want to just basically process this entire chest. So really we just need a second electrical engine to pump the items out, and that's rubber automated, which is going to make the process a lot less horrible. And then we could actually pipe, yeah, you know what, we could even pipe that into an automatic crafting table. and just kind of make it work. Because that'll just crap out the wires we need for us. There we go. Okay, so electrical engine. Electrical engine, yeah, you're just a ton of tin. Do I have spare tin? I've got gears. I've got tin in a box over here. I'm probably going to need to put signs in those to remember which one's which. Grab a piston. Actually, I'm going to make... Yeah, I think we're just going to... We'll make 4 for now. I think I need... Yeah, I need a block of glass. It's amazing how quickly the infrastructure starts ramping up once you have to start automating stuff. And, yeah, I have levers. Okay, cool. So, electrical engine then goes here. I gotta put a block here to give it a redstone signal. Because I can't put the engine on there automatically. And I need the Buildcraft wrench to flip the direction around. Okay. Alright, that's sticky resin going down. Cool. And then that should automatically end up... That's not getting extracted. Oh, don't tell me you have to be extracted from the side. Yeah, you might need to be extracted from the side. Because, of course, why would you be, like, sane and rational? I guess this is before hoppers were even a thing in Minecraft, so it wasn't like there was a standard for this sort of thing. But fine. Pipe there. Box there. And engine. Yeah, this cable run is going to become kind of horrible in about 3 seconds. But, like, screw it. In for a penny, out for a pound. Alright. Now there's that... Yep, that extracts the items. So that is rubber automated. Which is a really nice thing to have. So how quickly are you actually processing? Yeah, see, here's the problem. The electrical engine doesn't move items fast enough to max this out. Like, it's going, but it's not going fast enough. And... I mean, I could put a second electrical engine on there, but this was kind of the big problem with Buildcraft. The only way we can get items to go faster than this is with combustion engines. And combustion engines have 2 real problems. First, they explode if they overheat, and they overheat in this version. Secondly, yeah, I'm pretty sure electrical engines max out at 2 Minecraft joules per tick. Yeah, they generate 2 Minecraft joules per tick. Must be connected to redstone power. Can run on anything. It only takes 6. Ugh. That's a problem. That said, that's actually generating reasonably quickly, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But this is starting to become an argument for using logistical pipes. But let me see what we can do with red power, because red power is supposed to be less stupid EC2 pipes. And they may be faster. So for us to actually do something with Punatic, yeah, so this is what they are, the Punatic tubes. They need brass, which, well, I can make a bunch of brass. We need the filters, which needs the red dope wafers. Nothing else here is difficult. I believe transposers is the other thing. Yeah, they are. All right, why don't we see what we can do with Punatic pipes, because I feel like that's going to actually make this somewhat less horrible. So if we need brass, and we do, copper, tin, in... See, that makes bronze and other ones, so apparently someone missed the metallurgical memo. That said, we basically actually have it right here. So you get lost, you go in, and then we'll let that cook up some brass. For the bulls in here, we should... Yeah, we have a bunch of red doped wafers. Alright. So while the pipes cook up, I don't remember if these need to be powered, and if they do, it shouldn't be terrible, I hope. Alright. Let's make some room in the good old inventory. We actually need the gold. Grab a bunch of pistons. Alright. So let's just make like a few of these. Because if these actually work, we're going to basically be using them to backbone our automation. Filters. Okay. Now we need the transposer. And that one is just redstone and logs. Okay, that's easy enough. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just... And one more for good measure. We have logs. Yeah, good enough. Like, there is something incredibly liberating about live streaming for... And having it not feel like an obligation, which is kind of what it has felt like historically. Alright. And then grab the glass out of the box. Wow, this is like the most inappropriate music stuff coming out of here. Oh, I hate that track. I really do. Good enough. The problem is the extraction rate, but if I can filter them... The thing is that the Punatic pipes, if I remember how they actually work, they will let me filter and send items. Like, they let me do routing that I can't do with this version of Buildcraft. And if so, I can automate crafting tables to build the circuits. Because if I can automate the circuits... The rest of this actually becomes really straightforward because we have the coal dust, we have the glass, we have basically the everything we need to do this. I just need to basically make it... Yeah, I mean, that's actually generating pretty quickly. Like, it's not ideal. Like, I would love to double that. Maybe I double up the engines. I believe there were mag tubes, which were faster. Yeah, there were these. Fine copper wire, obsidian. Let me see how these work, because I think these are faster item transfer, but I don't know if they work with the filters. Magtube. Faster version, accelerators must be used, and they must be powered. Ooh. So it only can be used for long distance item transfer, which admittedly is fine. You know, if we use an extractor, we do get a 1-to-3 ratio of rubber in and out, although the extraction rate is still a real big problem. And we have no way to void items in this version with Buildcraft. So unless we risk the item pipes exploding, and I have no, or the combustion engines exploding, plus I need biogas to do that. Yeah, I'm suddenly realizing that this automation setup is not going to cut it. But I could, you know, if the item pipe, if the pneumatic presses work with the DM furnace, yeah, you know, I need to do a little experimentation. Let me grab a stack of this. So our brass should be done cooking. And it is, and my inventory is completely full. Alright. Grab the brass. Grab some glass. And it's probably more pipes than I'm going to actually need, but let's experiment. Okay, so this is going to be a mess to pick up. Let me throw like a high value. Let me just convert this all back into diamonds. Okay, that's going to take a bit of time. Fine. So, yeah, this was not a well thought out setup. I think if I put a... Which one is this? This is a... I believe filters are what put items into the network. So filter... I'm an adult. No, it's draw for items from the from a chest, pick them up. Filters and transposers... it needs to go into a retriever and... Okay, I'm pretty sure I made the wrong machines then. Okay, hold on. Then what is the thing that tells it where to go? Oh, is it the deployer? Let's see here, hold on. I think it's the deployer. I think I made the wrong item. Deployer uses items much the way a player does, except block breaker or blah 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 blah. No, that's not what I want. Deployer is what is an ejector. Oh, I think it's a buffer. I think the buffer is the one that pulls it in. 5 input sites. Storage only accept items. Can send item to use. Okay, so this sends items into the network. A buffer can be used next to an auto. A buffer can be used next to an auto crafting table, which needs different items next to it to work. The player can click it to open up its components and use it as a chest, and you can send items to it with tubes and pipes. So if we, I don't know. Okay, so the buffer is what makes stuff go into the item, and then I believe if I put it next to an auto crafting table, it will simply craft what's there, and it will leave the template in next to it. So that would basically let me just grab stacks and stacks of circuits. Each pulse of the engine pulls out one recipe worth of items. You can extract it with each pulse of an engine pulls out one recipe's worth of items. So this is not going to be fast. Works like a regular work table. You can extract items with a wooden pipe. Blah, 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 blah. So that's not exactly ideal, but it does work. If we want to do this, what is logistical pipes going to require? I'm assuming that's in here. I know logistical pipes is in the pack. I just... like what? Yeah, it's like crafting logistical pipe. Basic logistical pipes are gears or golden chipsets, but we can do that with gears. Basic logistical pipe, request pipe, provider pipe, and then we have the chassis pipes. And we're going, oh god, yeah, we still need to get 4 stacks of diamond blocks. Like, that's just going to be a lot of crap. I think I actually am going to have to use logi pipes. Because it's so many crafting steps, it's a little, like, it's obnoxious on how actually convoluted it is. Let me look at logistical pipes. If I can, let me see if I can remember how they actually work. Yeah, so logistical pipes, blocks, modules, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we have the crafting logistical pipe, power junction. It says it's called like the crafter, but that doesn't help. And of course, the actual logistical pipes website is down. Dealing with, like I said, this is why I don't like dealing with logi pipes. Wait, was that the block? No, that's a crop matron. Mining well, pump, tank. Let me see if chat's saying anything. Sorry, I was looking. I'm actually not looking at chat right now. Yeah, I mean they would get the job done. Like, as long as if I could just get the circuits auto crafted, it would remove like 6 steps of this process. The problem is that auto crafting the circuits is a fairly lengthy process. Although I could use a buffer for it, because I'd have to make the cable, I'd have to put redstone in a box. Yeah, this is feeling like this is going to be a pain. Filter, transposer, deployer, sorting machine, battery box, frame monitor. So this is all red power stuff. I think, is ejector what gets it out of the network? Or is it just the retriever? Regulator, thermopile, sorting machine, filter, transposer, block breaker. Let me see if I can figure out all the bits here, because I think I can make the automatic crafting table basically just do its thing. Yeah, so do it. Yeah, I can make it slightly smaller range where it can pick up items as compared to a transceiver. It's a useful and inexpensive method. Yeah, sent through the pipes to an adjacent chest. I think the way it works is I can only like basically send it to one chest. Like I vaguely remember that pneumatic pipes are here. Items can go into the ground. For more versatile, which can draw stacks of items in colors. Items of a specific color will move towards that color, and sort items only go through. Yeah, so basically it goes into the pipe, and then it basically just pops out where there's an inventory. Um, they'll only send items to a tube that can further pass them on. So yeah, there's no intelligent receiving with pneumatic pipes. But if I need to, if I can craft the copper wires, I need to then get the iron. I would need to get the for refined iron. Chat, I'm going to take a break because I actually need to think about this because this is actually kind of proving to be a pain. I'm going to go on break for 5 minutes and then we'll kind of go from there. All right. Be back in a little bit. Alright, I think we need to do a little bit of experimentation. And also, it's actually getting warm in here, so let me turn off the space heater. Yeah, let's go back from AFK. And break. My storage situation is getting pretty terrible, so let me throw down some more alchemical chests so I can just dump my inventory so I can think with a clear head. There's always something satisfying about emptying out your inventory. Alright, so we need the automatic crafting table, the filter, the pipes. So an electronic circuit needs refined metal and it needs the copper cable. But if I can just get these automatically, it's going to make crafting these a lot less obnoxious. I still also need the transformers, but I need a lot less of those. And if I have refined iron automated, I can basically just grab it from box and make it. So, yeah. Alright, so let me see here. So transposer, filter. So I put a transposer there. I put a pipe here. And let me grab automatic some chests. And some sticky resin. Where did I put the alchemical chests? So I put alchemical chest here. Oh, wrong item. Like that. And then filter, I want to filter rubber. Okay, so that's how I color the pipe. Break that. Let me see here. So it says it works with any connected inventory. It doesn't, but maybe I have to... Ooh, that's a bit of a mess. Maybe I have to put it here. Filter, pipe, pipe. Oh, I think I put a transposer there. Alright, so that's in there. So filter is this one. And I want to filter... That doesn't work. I need to learn how these work. So let me put a filter there, alchemical chest there, rubber there. Or maybe I have this the other way around? Doesn't feel like I do. Maybe it needs a redstone signal. Oh, that did it. Yeah, it sent a whole stack of items. Okay. So maybe that's all we need. So if we put filter here, it might care about the sidedness, but let me grab some building blocks. And tube here, and that can go up there. So if I stick, you don't pull out like that. Maybe you care about the sidedness. I mean, that did connect. Does red power have a wrench? Or maybe I can use a Buildcraft wrench to rotate it. No, I don't seem to be able to rotate it. Wrench. That's Forestry's wrench. Oh, I think it's the screwdriver. Screwdriver. Let me do a little bit more reading. For items, utilities, so your canvas bag, project table. I think it's the screwdriver I need. Screwdriver is... Yeah, okay, I need a screwdriver. Screwdriver. So if I rotate you, connect you to the pipe network, and give you a redstone signal, do you do anything? No, you do not. So can it just not pull out the induction furnace directly? Let me read how filters work. Because if I have to use Buildcraft pipes, that makes this much more annoying. I'm an adult. Yeah, every time I go on the Feed the Beast wiki, it keeps giving me this prompt. Can pull a stack of items one at a time. The filter... Okay, so maybe it's because it's trying to pull a full stack of items. I mean, I can try the transposer, but I feel like that isn't going to make a difference. And then... Nothing. A filter that's receiving a continuous redstone item will not accept any new items into its inventory. So maybe I need to turn off. So there is the retriever, which kind of goes the other way. It pulls an item. It acts like a remote filter. It searches from an input side and send it to the output side. It requires electricity to work, unlike a filter. I mean, we can try it. I can make the solar panel pretty easily. I don't know what else. Yeah, we need blue doped wife. Oh no, I can't make it. I don't have nickelotite, which is the item you get from this. Which is kind of telling me I am going to have to do this with Buildcraft pipes. I can route the items to the table, to an auto crafting table with a filter or whatnot. But it will not actually... Yeah, small inventory, send items to tubes, I can pass it out. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so apparently I could do it with a retriever. So this is... See, this is my concern with Logipipes. It's like, does Logipipes have a way I can pull items out? I feel like it does, but... Question mark. Plus, I have to give it power. And I also need the wiki to just basically read on how they work. So routing, about pipes, unrouted transport pipes, research system. It is, of course, raining in my Minecraft world. Sound go like way down. Yeah, are the modules a thing in this version? Yeah, they are. Of course they are. And I can't even make them because I don't have paper, so I don't... Yeah, I don't have the dye, so I can't even make Quadgy pipes. The only way for me to get cactus is with UU matter. And UU matter needs so much flipping power that I kind of wanted the high voltage thing for it to make the entire process less obnoxious. Also, it's a really good thing I have the alchemical chest right there, or else that machine would have exploded. So I'm going to take my blessings for what they are, because I completely forgot. I see 2 machines explode in the rain. That was a lucky accident. That said, I can still make wires. Yeah, I can still actually make wires. And let me kill this spider. So I'm starting to think the original plan I had was actually the winning solution to this. Except for the fact that I don't want to be exporting diamonds. Alright, that's fine. Diamonds come out, items go in. You do that. That's got to heat up again, but that's fine. Alright, so we're just going to have to deal with the relatively slow crafting speed. But as long as it's automated, we can basically just do other things. And can I not rotate that? Well, that's annoying. Yeah, that is legitimately annoying. Alright, fine. And then alchemical chest goes there, so that goes into the items. So now if we take the filter, place you there. I want to filter out that. So we do pipe, box. And do you need to be rotated? Well, at least it's dark now, so I can sleep and end the rain. Alright, so we have rubber going in there. So how do I get the rubber into the pneumatic pipe? You would be getting a red... Oh, wait, it's probably getting a redstone signal from there. Or not? I mean, it does work with whole stacks of items, which is nice. Let me try a transposer. Does it not work with alchemical chests? Like, that would feel very strange. Nope, that did it. Up the item. Wait, do you need to be like on a clock or something? It looks like it's only reading the first inventory slot. I mean, that... Yeah, every time I flip it, it pulls the first inventory slot out. If I switch the slots around, it sends them all there. But it doesn't seem like I should need to... Here. Filter. Draw items from the ground. It's receiving a continuous redstone signal. Sign tags. Transposer. Blah, 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 blah. Output pipes. I guess it needs a timer of some sort. I mean, that doesn't seem... Redstone tubes. Adjacent ones. Machine signal. When a redstone... Okay, so it does need a redstone pulse to actually do that. Oh, that is hot garbage. So what about retrievers? How did these work? Well, all right, I can't make them. I can make timers. They're kind of annoying to make, but I can make them. And so that could send, like, the items every few seconds to where they need to go. I don't know if that's an actual improvement from... God, this is... I don't want to say this is janky, but you kind of have to appreciate how far we've come from modded, you know, over the course of time. I mean, there is a part of me that just kind of would just want to let this run, because if the chest completely fills up, I can just like craft the wires by hand, and it's not going to be terrible. I mean, look, I mean, that's reasonably fast. I still need to make one of these for refined metal. I'm just kind of mentally thinking about how I could do this. I think logi pipes are the only other option, but without paper, I can't make the modules. And I'm pretty sure I need the modules to make logistical pipes work. Yeah, because I think I need the quick sort card, and the only way for me to get sugarcane would be to use UU matter. That's not insurmountable, but I need a recycler to generate scrap. You know, I think if I just go with the original plan and I automate just refined metals and such, I think it's just going to be easier, because then I can just go grab a box of things and make things happen. I need another induction furnace to make that work, but the rest of it isn't actually all that bad. So let me make the induction furnace. Machine block. Induction furnace, which needs an advanced machine block and an electrical furnace. I'm going to go grab another one of these. like, I don't know. That just feels kind of disappointing. So the electrical furnace is like... Oh, you need an iron furnace. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so then I need an advanced machine frame. Where's my carbon? And then we just need copper to finish it. Which there, yeah, there's copper in that table. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it's... Yeah, I think I can work with this. Because doing any more sorts of advanced automation feels like it's just going to be absolute pain and suffering. So, but we're going to need to like make better machine steps. Like this isn't going to cut it. Yeah, I think I'll build out this way, and then over time I'll just move this. Or, you know what I'll do is I'll just expand it out this way, and we'll just go off the pipe like that. Yeah, like if I had retrievers, I think this would be more doable than what it actually will be. And then we'll just basically put these back to back like this. Yeah, we're going to need a few spaces. And also I need some lighting. I know I made a whole ton of torches. There they are. Alright, so the second induction furnace, we basically need to come out a block. This is going to become some real cable spaghetti. I already can see that this is going to be spaghetti. Alright, let me move this lever, put this on top just to free up that block. I can put the induction furnace right here, which actually does power it. But it actually needs to be 1 unit lower. Wrench. All right. Buildcraft pipe. Energy condenser. And then this needs to make iron. Put the refined iron away. Do I have like a regular iron ingot somewhere? No, of course not, because that would be like too easy. Tin, redstone. No, of course not. I don't have a regular iron ingot anywhere. For regular iron in there, for diamonds in. I'll have to put a lot more diamonds in there, but one step at a time. And then extraction pipe there. No, I gotta move this out one more block. That's not... Yeah, I need to... The engine has to go there. So engine goes... Will go there. Break you. This is a process. All right. We put wooden transport pipe here. Like that. A chemical chest there. And then we just need to move these over by 2 blocks. And then electrical engine there. Electrical engine here. That powers that. And then a final lever to keep this running. All right, so that'll just make refined metal. It's a little janky, but I can live with that, considering that that removes 2 crafting. Basically, the smelt, I have no way to like just smelt the everything in a single go. The rest is relatively easy to do. The only thing I need to do is just basically load that thing up with EMC, which we can do like that. And that's going to make a ton of refined metal. Yeah. Once the furnace heats up, which will take some time. And that's just going to fill up with rubber. And so I can just craft the cable. I can basically just then stack, craft the cables, and we go from there. It's completely jank, but it works, and I don't know if I actually care beyond that. All right. So that will build up supplies to build the solar panels. Which now leaves us with some other things we need to do. We're going to have to power a Buildcraft assembly table. And that means I think we're going to need a fair bit of biomass and biogas. If ice-flavored water caught on fire, how would the penguins feed the sun? I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, this is where the name Feed the Beast came from. The whole goal is to quite literally feed the beast. I believe this was their first map. And to get the uranium, yeah, because we need uranium for like 2 of these, and we already did that one. It's what? I think it's... No, that's the refractory wax one. Oh boy. Solar panel, LV array, MV array, HV array. Yeah, like the only one that's actually hard here is the HV array, and it's just because of the sheer amount of crafting. The resources are not actually a concern. That being said, if we have cultivated bees basically sorted, I would love to get them into an apiary and basically, or get them into an automated apiary. So let's do a little bit of bees while that processes, because that's going to be a project and a half. But that being said, now that I have the good cables, running the rest shouldn't be quote unquote terrible. I'm just kind of surprised at how sort of I don't want to say they're useless, the red power ones, but the timer requirement makes that really, really irritating to use. So we have the energy condensers. Where else did I have crap in these chests? I have transport pipes, electrolyzers, machine blocks, bronze. We need to make we need biomass both for a quest, but we're going to need to be able, like I said, we're going to need to be able to power a rather ludicrous amount of 64 diamond blocks is going to be not 64. We need 4 stacks of diamond blocks, and this stopped working at some point. Why did you stop working? You probably stopped working because you ran out of coal at some point, because of course you did. Let me clean up my inventory a bit. So you go there. The alchemical coal. You can throw the dark matter furnace back down because it is useful. All right, you go there. Actually, you know what? I have an electrical engine. Maybe I should just use that instead if I can get power to it. Oh yeah, I can get power to that, no problem. Because then at least I don't have to care. Aside from the fact I gotta get a redstone signal in there somehow. Because I broke the block the lever was on. I think I can just do it there. Does that make it go? Okay, that makes it go now. And now that that has an electrical engine on it, maybe you are... No, you're going into the wrong slot. Yeah, you're going into the wrong slot. I think you had to go like that. Yep, that did it. Alright, now we have EMC again. Yay. So how fast is this? Yeah, I mean, look, it's already made 3 stacks of refined metal. So that should actually make this... I'm not going to say this is going to be a painless process, but it's going to make it less horrible. God, that is a lot of stuff for circuits. But if I completely fill up my inventory with circuits... So let me grab... Which chest am I not using? I'm not using this one. We'll basically just use this as alchemical chest. Okay, you know what? I know exactly how we're going to deal with this. So we take this alchemical chest, and then we need 2 of these auto crafting tables. So automatic crafting table, which is wooden gears, which of course I don't have sticks. Why would I have sticks? And then, you know what? I'm just going to make a full stack of these tables because I'm pretty sure they're going to be useful. So full stack of crafting tables. Well, not a full stack. Automatic crafting table. So the way these apparently work is they will directly pull from an inventory next to them. So if I do this and I put the items in here, like let's actually test this. And just put, yeah, put all the rubber in here. And then let me grab some copper. Like that. And then throw, yeah, I throw stacks. I basically throw this all in here. Grab the rubber. So apparently the way this works is it will pull from the inventories next to it. And if that... Nope, that did not work. It says it works. I wonder if it just doesn't work with an alchemical chest. It might not. Auto crafting table. It says it pulls here. Nope, that's part of the... Oh, no, this one is. Place the items and pull it out manually. Insert and extract with pipes. Each pulsing engine pulls one recipe out. Blah, 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 blah. It can pull items and materials out. It can extract from any side with a wooden pipe or combustion engine. All right, you know what? Fine. Then we'll do this a little bit differently. So, oh, that made a mess. Like, if we can just auto-craft the cables, it would even be, like, nice. I suspect we can't actually do that. So let me pull the copper out of here. We'll just do it by hand. I was hoping that would be, shall we say, more automatable, but, whatever. It was worth a shot. The newer versions of Buildcraft, the table has an inventory, which makes it a lot less annoying to use. Like, it has, like, a buffer interface on it that makes it the whole thing a lot less annoying to use. But, yeah, so that's that, and that's that. So, the question is, how many circuits can we get with what we just made? So, 1, 2, 3, 4... Get rid of that. Let me grab the Philosopher's Stone so I have a crafting table on me. And we just basically grab as much rubber as we can fit in our inventory. All right. 1, 2, 3... Boink. Actually, I am going to want the alchemical chest. I just don't want these tables. Because we'll just store all the intermarries. Did my pick snap? Or did I just throw it in a box? Oh, I think my pick snapped. Okay, well, that gives me an excuse to upgrade it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I can make a dark matter pick, which was like the super pick that we started with the beginning and lost to the void. Nope, that's a dark matter. What's the pick? It's free dark matter. That's fine. We are burning through EMC today. Okay, that's nice. Can I now have alchemical chest? I don't even know these are the right tools to break these with, but whatever. So yeah, I can basically just craft the wires in mass and just dump them in box. And then we just grab more copper and we just keep crafting them. Also, that has to stay in my hotbar because, you know, reasons. So craft 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're making progress on that high-end solar array. It's just going to be a lot more steps than I thought it was going to be to actually do this. All right. 1, 2, 3. So this is like the last stack of cables that I have. Also, I'm about to starve to death. Fortunately, that's why I have chicken. All right, and then 1, 2, and then that gives me 3. So, given all this, I should now be able to, given how many cables I just crafted, I should be able to make a few stacks of electrical circuits by, you know, a bit. So let me grab, yeah, let's grab a few stacks of refined metal. We need some redstone from the table. Yeah, and then, all right. So that leaves 3 slots free. So let's see how many stacks of circuits we can actually get with this. Okay, that was a full stack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wrong item. So that is another, that's another stack of solar panels, which is, that's another NV. So that's 2. Oh god, it's starting to dawn on me on how absolutely insane this is going to be. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we can get another stack of solar panels. But by getting the smelting automated, at least it's a lot less bad than it could have been. That's kind of my copium right now, and I'm sticking with it. Actually, didn't I make a box of redstone? I did make a box of redstone. Like, I don't need to go fishing in that table to get it. So, refined metal. Yeah, I really wish I had a good way to automate this process. But it doesn't feel like I could get one. Because I'd only be able to basically auto-craft it 1 stack at a time. The engines are very slow, and it would be pure piping spaghetti to actually do that. So that's... I'm going to need 16 stacks of circuits, is what this actually boils down to. Oh, Lord. That's a lot of circuits. How are you doing? Yeah, we're going to need 16 stacks of circuits. It's a little much. You know, just saying, that's a little bit much. Yep. Hey, Swung 048. Old school industrial craft and old school modded. We're going to run, and we're just going to keep crafting it as we go along. We're still going to... The first HV panel... I think we're going to have to make 2 of these panels, because we have this quest for 100 million EMC. And actually, I should do the math on this to figure out how much this would actually take. So 1 high voltage panel puts out 512 per tick, 20 ticks. And if we need 100 million, so this needs to go the other way. Divide by 60. So that would take 2.5 hours with 1 panel to charge up that battery, which, all things considered, on the time horizon of this pack, that is not bad at all. We just have to basically run cable, let it run, and just make sure we sleep. Like a nuclear reactor would be faster, but something, I don't want to blow up my base, something. Where's my Bealyzer? Because we're... Alright, how are these drones coming? Your slowest, so you ended up with Okay, so you have the fast worker trait. And we had the other ones that we were cooking. Let's see if we ended up like with something. Wow, it does not want to give me this trait. You have fastest and you have fertility 3x. Oh, you're fast. Okay, so you're actually like good. Did I get any not horrible drones though to go with it? So we'll breed these two. We have a 75% chance of this like being a good end result. We'll use the second cultivated for now, just because I've got nothing else to do with it. And we'll chuck these drones in a box. So, I mean, it could be worse. I'm trying to, like... I'm trying to remember what traits the Valiant has. They have life speed long. The reason we care about them is... Oh, you don't have temperature tolerance. Oh. That's a... I don't remember what has temperature tolerance, because one of the big things is to get the Omega B, we need to be able to use modest and wintry drones in this biome. Neither one will work. Modest bees need a desert biome. Although they might work in the nether, which is technically a hot biome. Actually, you know, I should check that, because if I can use the nether, it makes the process slightly less obnoxious, but I still need temperature tolerance. Because I'm pretty sure the moss bee will not work into that. The problem is I don't remember which bees actually have temperature tolerance. See here. Oh, right. And they also need cactus as their plant, which, of course, I don't have. Yeah, I think that tells me that I need to go down the... I think I need to get UU matter. I think that has, like, become a thing we actually need. Because we can get... I'm pretty sure we can get cactus from UU matter. Yeah, we can. And if we get cactus, it kind of makes things less terrible. I mean, it's still going to be terrible, but it'll be better. So we do need a recycler. Well, that's cheap, so let's make the recycler. Like, we don't need a stupendous amount of UU matter, because we just need to make the item and then chuck it in box and call it good. Glowstone, refined iron, and glowstone dust. We should have some... oh, well, I have refined iron in my inventory. So I need dirt and some glowstone. Dirt. Glowstone. Stone. And I know I had... yeah, I did have some electrical circuits left over. All right. So let's make a machine hole. Machine hole. See, the nice thing is that with just the circuit parts crafting, like, I don't have to micromanage and watch it. It'll just get done. And then, cool, we have a... now, we need a bunch of cobblestone for that recycler. Kind of like that. I don't know how much scrap we're actually going to need, but it's probably going to be a decent amount. So let's just stick this on our cable spaghetti. Chuck you in. Oh, you don't generate scrap every time. Or... Oh. That means I need to actually... I need to pipe it in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pipe in cobblestone. Also, it's nice when you can fly. Alright, fine. Energy condenser, no. Did I use all my alchemical chests? I have no idea what clicking that did. Except it makes orb go flying. I have energy condensers there. Oh, I had the alchemical chest in my inventory. Wooden pipe, wooden pipe, wooden pipe. Also, let's get the music back, because... There we go. I'm guessing I'm out of wooden pipes. Considering how many I've been using them, that makes perfect amount of sense, but it's also annoying. Also, I think I'm out of electrical engines because, of course, I can't... like, I need so much crap all at once. Another stack of tin. Modded Minecraft is a relaxing experience, and other lies told to small children. Oh, and some pistons. I'm not really going to... My machine room is going to just be a mess when this is done, but fine. Alright, so here's the recycler. How far have you gone? You actually just finished. So let me just chuck in some more. Basically, I want as much as I can get. I forgot to make the wooden pipes. Is it planks? No, I think it's logs for the extraction pipes. Hold on. Wooden... Oh, it's just in the middle because it's not a shapeless recipe. I mean, we're definitely starting to build up the amount of automation in this base, which doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. Actually, we do have an extractor here with an engine already on it that I can trivially upgrade because I don't think we need the extractor anymore. So you can go away. You can become an electrical engine. No. Don't do that. Switch your pipe direction, please. Oh, that's just going to start dumping coolant cells on me. Because I made those for overclockers, but I don't think we're going to be using those. That's kind of a mess. I don't want those to go there. Okay, hold on. Break the pipe. I have no idea where the rest of the cooler... I'm assuming the coolant cells went in there and got recycled. Which is pretty much where I didn't want them to go, but whatever. You know what? Screw it. I think we can just feed this machine by hand, because you know what? I just don't care. I don't know how much... Yeah, this can just all go in bin. You become EMC, and we stop caring. Also, moving my bed to the other side of the base had its own implications. I know I said I was going to work on biogas today, but I think that's been kind of a... where is... Oh, there's the chat. Oh, and we already have the spam bots. We're going to need to make an HV solar array, which is 8 stacks of solar panels, which itself is 2 circuits each and 3 coal dust. I grinded up the coal dust already, so that's, you know, easy enough. But, you know, it's just... Here, I'll show you exactly why we need so many... We need to make this, the high voltage, which requires medium, which requires low, which requires 8. So it needs 16 stacks of electrical circuits. I fortunately already made all the coal dust for like 2 of these things, but it's a bit of a process, and we still also have to make all these batteries, which that's going to suck for an entirely different reason, but it's a manageable suck. I can just bulk craft the batteries. It's just... It's a process. But that was the other reason why I automated refined metal. So we've got 3 stacks of the 16 we need to make the obnoxiously large solar panel. And let me charge up the EMC while we're waiting, because at this point I'm kind of just thinking about what we have to do next. I need to figure out how to do the bee breeding. The problem is I don't know which bees give temperature tolerance. At least we're back up to like full EMC again. Well, I say full, but basically all the EMC we've used today. I really wish you could shift click this onto the table, but you know, that would require like the UI not to suck. And then you go in there and good. Yeah, it's going to require a lot of circuits like that. This is obnoxious. I also have to give it a medium tier, so it's even more circuits than what it looks. And we're probably going to want a high voltage one anyway, because it's really either this or nuclear power. I'm going to see if we can run a mass replicator at Envy. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's make the mass fab and see if we can get UU matter, because if we can get cactus, it solves one problem. There's like 3 other ones I have to deal with, but that does solve an actual problem. So mass fabricator. Because if I can get the EMCBs, it will just crap out dark matter. It doesn't crap out dark matter, but it's going to be a lot of EMC for like no effort. Oh, for the love of God. The spam bots have arrived. Yeah, I see it. I'm getting rid of it. We haven't seen those in a long time. It's really been quite a while since I last saw those. Right, I was making the mass fabricator. Sorry, I completely spaced out there for a second. So refined metal. So let's make the machine frames. Like, we don't need a lot of UU matter. We just need some. And compared to modern IC2, this is a lot easier than what than it is in the newer versions. Okay, I have to get some components out of here. I need think I need... Hold on. Mass fabricator, Lapatron. I only need 1 diamond. And then just grab a stack of redstone. And we keep that there. See, the end game, the thing is that we have to make, like, the Uber tier IC2 stuff. Not the IC2, EMC stuff. So we're going to need a lot of... please tell me I have lapis. Okay, I'm going to have to go searching for it. Fine. Let's put gold. Oh, all that. That was easy. I didn't even have to look all that hard for it. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Energy crystal go there. I think those hold 1 million each. So 2 advanced frames, 2 circuits, and some glowstone. Glowstone's easy enough. 3, 4. 1, 2. Mass fabricator. I believe the mass fab is an MV machine. I should probably run some cabling and just move it away just in case it's not. Like if the mass fab blows up, I'll be annoyed, but it's not terribly bad. Also, I wonder if we can get more items like ice from scrap boxes. Also, I need to throw like another stack of items. I can throw the logs in. Like we only need a handful. All right, so mass fabricator goes there. Scrap goes in. Yeah, and that amplifies it. Oh boy. That being said, we're still generating full power, so that's nice. Medium tier voltage array, and while it's here, let's just charge the screwdriver up. Okay, yeah, so that is draining a little bit. But it's just going to generate slowly. I don't care that much. Okay, so now let's return to the bee progress. I'm not going to go like completely crazy. Oh, we got fast, fast. Slower, faster, fast, fast. Oh, that's perfect. We got two fast bees. I would have liked more drones than what we actually ended up with, but that is what we call winning. So now we need to actually automate the hives, which is a little bit easier said than done. I have a bunch of silky combs somewhere. Let me take a look at this. What did we end up with these bees? I'm hoping you're a pure. You are pure, so let me see if I can get this bee species. The biggest thing is we need propolis, and getting propolis is easier said than done, but this that bee species does generate it. I thought we had more silky combs than that. Maybe not. The reason why we need silky combs is, and let me get this beeswax out of here. The reason we need the silky combs is it's the only way to make the apiarist pipe. I'm not convinced that I'm going to be able to automate bees. I mean, supposedly you can automate bees with Buildcraft. Whether or not you can actually do it is an entirely different story. I thought I had more propolis than that. So, apiarist pipe. Please tell me. It only gives me 1 for each propolis. Oh, that sucks. And I got silky propolis, which is not actually what I need. I need... Oh, that means I need the jungle bee is the one that makes the propolis. At least I think it is. Let me check what other combs it goes. I'm an adult. It needs to be stringy bees, which comes from diligent, unwary, and industrious. You can also squeeze... Oh, so apparently if I put... Apparently if I put honey drops in a squeezer... Oh, right, because that'll make honey. We need the honey regardless. But we need it in refractory wax. The problem is honey is kind of in short supply right now. So, yeah... How much honey? Yeah, see, like, I'm using so much honey just keeping an eye on these bees. But look how much honeycomb that this one bee has spat out because it's a fast worker. That's why it's worth doing it. So what did we end up with on you? You're cultivated slowest. So I'm going to just keep running this one. When this one finishes its cycle, I'll end up with an extra drone. I can chuck that coal. No, hold on. Actually, I can do something. I can start trying to breed the next line of bees with that. Assuming I have a common princess somewhere, which I should. Yeah, you should be a common princess. Yeah, you're common. So if I mix those two, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're common, and you're common. So if I mix these two, it should start one of the migration paths. Or, well, not migration paths, but I really need to empty these out more often. What did we end up here? You're a cultivated with fastest. You're cultivated common, and you're a common. So let's mix these two and kind of just see what we end up with. I probably should get a pure common princess and stick it in a box and not lose it so I can mint more drones when I actually need it. Yeah, that's useless. You are a common cultivated, which is not what I want. So yeah, let me chuck those in. I don't think I care about any of those drones. So into the void they go. And let me make sure my chat's not being overrun by spam bots. Alright, so how's this coming along? This is actually, that's coming along pretty quickly. Alright, so let's see, let me dump my inventory. And let's see how many more stacks of circuits we can make towards an HV circuit array. Actually, hold on. I do need the star because that's what lets me fly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So yeah, I can turn all that into cable. Let me grab the box of copper. 2, 3. And the circuit crafting continues because this is obnoxious. Welcome to Feed the Beast. I mean, compared to some of the stuff that I'm going to have to make, this one isn't actually all that bad. It's just tedious. Yeah, oh, hold on. I forgot to grab the copper. 2, 3. Yeah, so every few minutes, I'm just going to have to basically do this, and we continue the quest for high voltage solar array. I should probably edit the title of this stream because I was going to work on biogas and I got completely distracted. Alright, so given that, let me grab some stacks of refined metal. Stack of redstone. 2 stacks of redstone. And that is another set of circuits. It's a lot of circuits, but yeah, no. Setting up just the automated rubber is making this so much less obnoxious. That's 2. And that's 3. And then in another 10 minutes or so, I should be able to make another 3 stacks. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's 6 circuit. That's 6 sets of circuits of the 16 we need, and this is just going to keep crapping out. How are you? Good. You're good. You're out of EMC. Let me grab some EMC for you. Yeah, no, that's more EMC than I want to spend. Let's just like throw 3 stacks of diamonds in there. That's probably more than I need. Actually, no, I'm just going to fill up the chest. Cool. And that, as they say, is how you do it. Like, you don't have to automate everything. This was one of the biggest things that I've learned about doing complex packs without AE2. Just having some of the more tedious parts handled makes each and every step preceding it a lot easier than what it would be otherwise. Yeah, that's a... Yeah, let's centrifuge those honeycombs. Because honey being important for bee breeding. So I'm hoping with the Apiarus pipe, let me see here. So squeezer, yeah, that's trivial to make. I could store the fluid in universal cells for now. I'm going to have to move them to refractory capsules. But we don't even have the B for that, so I also just don't care. So bronze, and I think I have the tin. Oh, I know I have the tin. I just have to find it. Yeah. So let me see if we can get the propolis. And then that's like the most appropriate music I could have gone right there. Alright, squeezer. So let me grab an electrical engine. This is already becoming like complete cable spaghetti. And you need more scrap. Wow, we got basically nothing for that. I mean, like I said, I don't really care how much time it takes, just that it gets done. What? I believe the value of the item determines how much you actually get. Like, if I throw charcoal in, what do I end up with? I'm assuming there's a way... like, I don't remember how scrap mechanics work. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I should and probably... Yeah, I should, like, actually care about keeping this organized and expanded. But, no, I don't. Alright, squeezer... So let me grab... I really don't want to spend the honey for this. Let me wait until I get a full stack, and then we'll, like, come back and work on that. So, yeah, so you're basically cultivated fast, 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 fast. So you're just going to keep breeding drones for us. This made the princess, but did not give us the drone we needed. So are you a... Yeah, you are a pure princess. You're not. You're a forest drone, and you have recessive. Did I... I thought I had a pure drone. I guess I don't. Let's try that again. Because I am just getting unlucky with those rolls. I think I've been trying to get that beeline stabilized for, like, a while. So these are slow workers. Yeah, these are slow. So what we do is we take... Yeah, so we take the slow worker and we chuck it in with a fast worker bee. And over time, the princess will become a fast worker and we get a better source of drones. So you can go into the void and you can go into the void. So over here, you're still going. You're still going. And it just became night. Yeah, I don't think I want to make this an extended stream, but I do think I'm going to take a break here. How's our rubber production going? Oh, we're almost up to a stack. I probably should chuck something in that makes, like, more EMC, but... whatever. I'm content to just let that be a background project for the time being, because it's going to take its sweet time. Yeah, I can just, like, chuck a stack of blaze rods in there. Should generate more than enough. Yeah. Yeah, that's about what I needed. It really is kind of a project, like, just every little step of this. Alright, so our quest for the high voltage, like, we don't even need the HV array. Because, yeah, this has already made 1 UU matter. I need to get cactus. I need 6. I can get sugarcane for 6, which are like the 2 things I actually care about. Is there anything else in UU Matterland that... I am going to need iridium. Which means I'm probably going to have to automate this, like, to be less jank. I'm going to need at least 5 pieces of iridium, which are 7 UU matter each. Like, then again, this is generating more than enough power. So really, the only thing putting scrap in does is makes it faster, but by the time I'm going to need the iridium, I'm pretty sure I'll just have it. And if I don't have it, I can just spam mass fabricators until I do. So, I don't think I care. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't care. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I might want from UU Matter. So, we're probably going to need about a stack of UU Matter in total. Yeah. And then you throw the scrap in, and then it goes. Scrap reduces the cost of UU Matter to 1/8 of the size. The problem is I'm going to have to do, like, a bunch of plumbing to make that work. Like, it's not terrible. It's just irritating. It's probably worth doing it, to be honest. But yeah, let me take a break and then figure out what next project look like. Also, I'm assuming that box is completely full. That's going to be our emergency reserve of stuff. Oh, are you all out of... They're all out of lava. I hate that shift clicking puts it in the bottom cell. That being said, with a transformer, I could probably run this entire power line. Alright, and now that's running again. I really wish I could figure out like what makes the best scrap, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to take a break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. So, 5-minute break. Alright. I'm back. I had a piece of cheese. Enjoyed this. Looked at the sun coming up for a bit. I think we're only going to go... I don't think we're going to stream for that much longer. I don't feel like we're getting all that far. And maybe that's just because I'm a little bit... hold on. Let me make sure the window... Oh, when did this... Like... The window doesn't, like, stay where it's supposed to be. And it's really irritating. Come on, let me adjust my scene. Okay, there we go. Alright. So let me grab the honey that we have, which isn't much. Let's see if we can get 2 propolis. Because I want to screw around with the Apiarist pipe. And if it's actually decent. Oh, wow, that squeezer is slow. I'm assuming that didn't make much honey, because I don't even see it in there. Like, I'm afraid that's going to make like 10 millibuckets a pop. No, it's more than that, because that's a bucket there. So I think each time it squeezes, it has a small chance of making it. How much honey do I have in the Bealizer? I have enough for now. We're going to have to go pretty crazy with bees soon. And I just realized I'm going to actually need a lot of common drones. Because we're going to have to... I am not having any bee breeding luck with this thing. Yeah, it keeps giving me the 75% chance. I can't get the species I need to pop out of it, which is irritating. And you just spat out garbage. And you have another cultivated. So you ended up slowest, fastest, and you're fastest, fastest. So let's keep that breeding going. You're common, cultivated, common, cultivated. I actually need the commons, so let me see if I can find like a good common drone. Okay, so you're a common, and you're a common forest. And yeah, so I basically just need to crap out commons for the next stage of the bee breeding. And then let's get these cultivateds. You're a cultivated common, you're a cultivated noble. So you actually did mutate. Not in a way I actually wanted you to, but fine. You know, I am actually curious. Let me actually try something. Like, maybe I'm overthinking what we need to automate these. Oh, actually, we have commons here. Common meadows, common meadows, common meadows. Did I have another common bee? No, I didn't. But I can try and refine the line with what I have. Oh, actually, I have a... Hold on, I got more here. You are common cultivated, and you're a common noble. That is, like, completely flipping useless. So the reason... Unless I can just get the noble bee, which might happen... Let me see what I got here. You're a cultivated common, and you're a cultivated noble. So that was the common noble, cultivated noble. So I got the high... So, yeah. There's two different bees I can get from the cultivateds, and so I need to stabilize the diligent and the noble lines. And the way you do that is just... throw more bees at the problem. Okay, so that's a common, and that's a common. So... yeah, I think I just want to throw more common... yeah, I think I just want to make more commons. And then what will happen is, as my drone supply builds up, I can basically just get more and more of what I need. So let me see something about actually automating these hives. Because if I can even just automate one hive, it would be useful. Wooden transport pipes. Let me throw these in the box. I got a lot of crap in these boxes. I gotta go through this and, like, clean it out. Because I'm really starting to drown in bees over here. Which is normally what happens with bees, but it's still kind of annoying. And how are we doing on rubber? We still got plenty of rubber on the way. Hey, D-Car Mitch. Been a while since I've seen you, although it's been a while since I've been streaming. A lot of stuff has happened in my life in the last few months. Did I get any propolis? Oh, I did actually get 2 propolis, and that's about to make a bucket. Alright. So, let's make an apiarist pipe. I should have some diamond pipes in a box. Yeah, I do. Let's see if this is, like, actually useful. So, throw that on there, and that gives me the apiarist pipe. How does this thing... That... Oh, that's a UI. That's a UI. Oh, I see how this works. Okay. So... When it extract... Okay, I think I already see how this works. Okay. So... Oh, no. Come back. Oh, that could have been a very expensive mistake. Yeah, that could have been an expensive mistake. Alright. So let me grab one of these. So this apiary is not being used. So let me grab it. And let me bring this over here. And I guess this is going to be our... Where do I want to put the automated bees? This base is quickly becoming spaghetti. Now, I don't even know what side I have to extract from. In modern versions of the mod, you pull from the bottom and item come out. But I don't know if that's how this works on this version. Forestry machines, though, generally are not as picky as industrial craft ones, so it may not actually matter. Question mark? Let me look at this pipe. So I can do anything, item, bee, drone, princess, queen. I don't know why you would ever put queens in. So you can put bee, you can put forest. Oh, here it says. So with that in mind, I could probably just use wooden engines for this. Like, I don't think I have to be fancy and run electrical engines over here. I should have some wooden engine. I have a wooden engine in a box. So, given that, all right, let's put a wooden extraction. Let's go over here. Let's just make room. And I just need some regular transport pipes just to be able to fiddle with this. So, and I need an apiary that I'm not using. I thought I grabbed, oh yeah, I did grab one. All right. So I take the apiary. I put a transport pipe here. I put the apiarist's pipe there. I'm pretty sure the side I put the bees in actually does matter. So let me try it like this to begin with. Because I'm guessing it has to go into the top for the apiarist, for it to go into the right slot. And I need a box. This music feels thematically appropriate for what we're dealing with. There we go. That music feels like the right mood. All right, so let me put a wooden extraction pipe here. And then let me figure out how these interact. So I think drone needs to go into the bottom pipe, and then I have to set the species, and it has to be a species I've discovered. Okay. So let's say I want to automate cultivated. You know what? Let me see if I can find a guide to how you actually for this interface, because that is an interface and that is a complicated interface. Apiarist's pipe. All right. So it looks like I'm actually going to need 2 of the damn things to make this work. Which seems... Yeah, so I think drones have to go in the top. Princess has to go in the top. Drones go on the side. And yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but okay. So be it. So I need 2 each, and I also need a way to make drones disappear, but it shouldn't be a terrible thing. I didn't get any. Let me take this silky propolis because I don't actually care. You're not getting squeezed. I'm assuming because there's honey in the machine. And I'm assuming that's not a full bucket. Okay, so honeycomb has actually become, like, even more important, because if I need 2 pipes each, then... yeah... okay. On the plus side, we're now starting to get... oh, please tell me that this finally stabilized. Like, tell me I have it. That's stable. That's stable. Okay, finally. I got it. Alright. So, and then we have these cultivateds, which look like they have a 3x fertility, which would actually be kind of nice. Yeah, cultivated fast and cultivated fast. Okay, cool. That actually works. Let's throw the cultivated drones in here. We have a common cultivated. Yeah, so we have a whole bunch of drones here. I think I have to go through and I'm going to have to toss out all the hybrids, but whatever. So what did we end up with here? Your cultivated common, and your common drone. So you 2 are going to keep going, and I'm going to hope I end up with something quote-unquote useful. You're common, you're common meadows, and you are common. So cool. I do now have a source of common drones. So you 2 just have to basically keep breeding. And now that we're starting to get honeycomb in mass, the process gets easier, but it also gets slower. I should really just make more princesses, but I need more drones to do that. It takes... I usually used to use like stacks of 10, but because none of these apiaries are automated, and then I have that spare one. Yeah, you should be... yeah, you're a pure cultivated. Yeah, you're a pure cultivated. So I could use that to convert a princess, and then I could feed drones to it. which actually kind of sounds like a good idea. One of these should have princess in it. What are you? You're a meadows forest, so I'm just going to start converting you to cultivated commons. What did we end up with you? I'm out of honey. You see how quick the honey goes? It's why I don't really want to spit it all out to make more propolis, but it does seem like I'm going to need 2 each. Yeah, this is going to be a legitimate problem. I am... Okay, hold on. Here's the other Feed the Beast page, which of course all the graphics are completely garbage. And it looks like the UI has actually changed in the intervening years, so what this says it is and what it actually is are 2 different things. And also there's a random drone just chilling out here. I'm assuming I'm just going to chuck these drones. What are... And yeah, I don't even have the honey to check this princess. Yeah, you're a meadows common. Alright, that's fine. Let me just keep looking for these, and then you I just want to keep breeding because I forgot what Valiants become. I think they're at the end of their I believe their end line does have the temperature tolerance we need. So I probably should also start converting another princess over. Like, what do they mutate to? They can become heroic, steadfast, and excited. So basically, I just need more. The thing is, I have none of the species they crossbreed with. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think I need heroic to figure out what the bee breeding is actually going to take. Heroic bees have no special tolerance, and they become... You can get Gothic. Okay, here we go. Heroic branch. And that just leads to a garbage website, because of course they do. Let me see here. Bees with temperature tolerance forestry. Because that's what we're going to need to actually... Actually, there is a second way we can get this to work. Oh, that's actually really going to suck if I have to do it that way. I need more drones to make that work, though, so that's currently not an option. If I can change their preferred... Hold on, let me look at this. Forest, temperature... Yeah, if I can crossbreed the other ones with normal temperature and normal humidity, it would work. Because the reason we care... let me open the ender pouch and find the bees I need. Not that one. Yeah, the snow hives, I'll just crack one open so I can look at the bees. What's this one? Desert hive, I believe that's the modest bee. And then what's in this one? Meadows Hive, which I've already used. Okay. And then let me grab a scoop. Really, you gave me 2 Valiant drones out of that and a Valiant Princess? Well, that's broken RNG. Fine, I'll breed them. Like, yeah, that should not have happened. The Valiants are a rare chance. And apparently I got 2 princesses out of that, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Okay, alright, let's try that again. So we have a spare Valiant Princess, but that was actually not what I was trying to get. Alright, fine. Let's, like, do another 2. Because I just don't want to be drowning in bees here. There we go. So we get the modest drone. They want cactus as a flower, and they want hot. They do have temperature tolerance 1, 2, so maybe they will breed in this biome. If they will breed in this biome, it actually does make this easier. I mean, I'll try it. The worst I do is I lose a princess, which is like, I don't care. Okay. No, I don't have cactus, so they won't breed. So that's fine. But yeah, that's going to be a bee beating. That's going to be literally an entire project to do that. What do the wintry bees have as their temperature tolerance? I'm assuming they only like cold climates. Oh, this one's the jungle hives. What were in jungle hives? I forget what the bee species is called. I'm assuming it's... Yeah, these are tropicals. Which means they need vines and they poison me. They need warm and damp. But they will... I think they will work in this biome. The problem is they'll poison me. Their produce is silky combs, which I do actually kind of care about. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of an involved process. One I just kind of don't want to deal with today. Alright, how's our rubber production becoming? Okay, so we have more stacks of circuits. Throw this on the table. I think I'm going to call it quits here in a bit. Like, I don't feel like we made all that much progress today. Because the quest for the high voltage solar panel is... I feel like that's literally going to be multiple streams of me just kind of staring at a screen. Let's see how far along we've actually gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19... 20. I need a little bit more inventory space, but that's easy enough. And we just turn this all into cables. You gotta love doing the mass amount of crafting that this pack is going to require. But yeah, without paper, I can't get logi pipes. So just gotta hope we get enough UU matter soon. Not that it would speed this up all that much. These are just going to be murderously expensive to craft. Okay, that's all the copper wire. Let's throw that in, and then let's just grab. Oh god, that was weird. It looked like my entire screen was moving. And then we grab some redstone and we make more circuits. This is literally we're literally just making a giant factory for a high voltage solar panel. Alright, that's one. Oh, I forgot to grab the redstone. I really do want to do services for Unix. I think I have to figure out how I'm going to get my desktop working and usable. And I've got enough for another 3. Another full stack. It really is amazing how quickly an entire inventory worth of items just kind of vanishes. Alright, that's an R3. So that brings us to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, let's convert these. Let's start converting these into actual solar panels. Which means we need like a couple stacks of generators. Yeah, so each one requires a generator, which requires an iron furnace, free refined iron, and the batteries. Which isn't actually all that terrible to make. It's just consuming. We've got the refined iron. So I need 6 stacks of just iron. Or 8 stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then all of those are going to become... always kind of fun when you start like literally crafting stuff. Oh, I have a full stack of circuits in there. Okay, so that all goes in there. We just need the RE batteries, which actually are... yeah, that's actually really simple. I need more cable. I need more copper wire though. And I got enough copper wire. I can make another... yeah, I can make another 6 stacks. Which feels like a good use. I am really, really happy I automated the production of rubber. I wish it was a lot faster, but I am not beggars, you know. I also recognize that this could be Greg Tech New Horizons and thus be a million times worse than what it actually is. And then let me just grab some more tin from the table. Alright. So, and then we need more redstone. Oop, and I accidentally used... I'll have to reset the recipe. That's fine. Alright, so... throw these in, get the generators out. Alright, cool. So that's a full stack of solar panels. Can I get another full stack of solar panels? Ooh, what ran out? Oh, I didn't have enough machine frames. Damn. That's fine. I suspect I don't have the EMC. But we can make 1 stack of solar panels. So grab the alchemical bag of coal dust. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And we just need 2 stacks of glass, or 3 stacks of glass. Diamond, silver. What's the cheapest item? So apparently the way the focusing of the table works is it basically... there's like some items that are related. You know, it's probably faster if I like grab a thing of glass out of my boxes. Assuming I had any. Oh, I do. Alright. Yeah, by the time we're done with this, I'm afraid to know, I'm a little afraid to know how much EMC is actually going to go in. And that is another MV solar array. One of flipping 8 we need. Like, that is why we need so many, yeah. Yeah. A full stack of solar panels becomes 1 MV panel. On the plus side, we have lots of EMC here, so we can actually make more. And realistically, we're going to want probably 2 of those solar panels, which means I get to do this stupid process twice. It's fine. This is all fine. At least we have the EMC we need to do this. I meant to work on biogas today and I completely failed at that, but whatever. Also, I just realized, yeah, I'm not going to turn all that in. I know I have the second star, but whatever. Right, so I need another 8 stacks of iron to make into generators. Yeah, let's see how far we can actually get in this process. Iron furnace. Yep. 57. What ran out? Oh, I guess I didn't have enough batteries? Interesting. Where's the battery one? Those are circuits. Oh, I think the battery one was here. I just need more tin. This is very much a process. Alright, plenty of tin. Put that all in there. And then 1, 2, 4. And then watch it all go away. Alright. So grab another stack of another stack of circuits. Another 3 stacks of coal dust. And another 3 stacks of glass. So much crafting, so much wow. That's 2. So let's see here. How far close are we? So we have 2 stacks. That's another 2. So, yeah, actually, we may have actually everything we need to make this. We just actually have to do all the flipping crafting for it. Which, of course, is obnoxious, but not actually hard. So let me grab another 8 stacks of iron. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's really astounding just watching all the resources disappear. But I can grab all these RE batteries. Actually, no, I need these. Hold on. What am I saying? Oh, it was out of refined metal. Damn it. Fortunately, we have boxes of the stuff. There we go. So another stack of generators. Another free coal dust. And now we just need glass. 1, 2, 3. And yet another stack of solar panels. Ah, the joys of renewables. I mean, all powered with coal. Makes me feel like this must be German solar power. And of course, I put the recipe in backwards again. 5 stacks of solar panel. 3 stacks of solar panels. Ha ha ha. Alright, let's keep going. So we're after this one, we will officially be halfway to the solar panel 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's find some different music to listen to. And the thing is that even we still need a low voltage and a medium voltage for the quest. But like I said, we have to kind of charge up the beast, and realistically, this is probably the best way we can do that. We need more RE batteries, which means this needs more redstone, and more redstone means I need to throw in some more diamonds. Just grab a stack, chuck those in. There we go. Like, once you get a system down, it isn't horrible. I only got 15 right because the tin is in my inventory. Need more tin. We did actually have some to spare. So we have metal, we have iron furnaces. So I can grab a full stack of those, and then that becomes another stack of solar panels. All right, so we've basically got enough circuits to get 5/8 of this stupid panel. All right, let's just make it, because yeah. So we need yet another 8 stacks of iron. Imagine doing this without equivalent exchange. Like, it would be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have literally burned 1 million EMC on this. Throw the battery casings in. Actually, we do have everything for that, so that's just a full stack of generators. right there. 1, 2, 3. And I also have a thing of glass in there. And grab a spare. So many solar panels. So many solar panels. 5. 5. Ha ha ha. How much? Yeah, we don't have enough rubber to make more. So we need another 6 stacks of circuits to finish off the fucking solar array. And we need another stack of solar panels for an MV panel, although I guess I could technically turn in the one I have. The problem is that I need, like I said, I need to feed the beast, and I need to sacrifice one of these things to it's this quest here. Unless I wait and just make the nuclear reactor, which I guess I can do, maybe, sort of, kind of. I do have to run a nuclear reactor for a near depleted uranium fuel cell. Which is kind of rough, but okay. Let's see here. How's the sticky resin supply holding up? Yeah, it kind of isn't. Yeah, it's a little bit kind of amazing on how that's going. That's at 80% of progress. That's going to have to be automated with scrap. I think I need to. Also, I just realized I didn't have a block on top of that, which meant if it rained, it would have blown up the very expensive machine. Like, we made a lot of progress in this video, but we also got, like, nowhere closer to where we need to be. Let me get the bees going again for the next round. Yeah, you should be all pures now, which would be nice. Basically, once I have a full... Yeah, I'm going to have to do... What did we end up on this one? Great, I have almost no honey. Okay, so you are all pure. So, yeah. So, basically, I just need to breed up a bunch of cultivated drones and such. And ideally, I really want to be able to automate that, but I haven't quite figured out how we do that. Alright, let's just throw all that in there. I forgot which other apiaries I've put bees in. I had bees in this one. What did you have? Your cultivated forest and your cultivated forest. Let me turn you into a cultivated drone, because we have the spare drone. Yeah. I think I was trying to make another common. Your common meadows, and common. And then we just keep kind of bringing the Valiants up, because that's actually full. So I'm going to throw these in a box. I don't think I'm going to need much more than what I have. Alright, what did we have? What did I have cooking over here? I don't think I had anything on this side going. I did have... Oh, I do have a cultivated princess. Okay, I was trying to make another cultivated one. I kind of just want... I guess it doesn't really matter, although I kind of would like another common. Do I have the drone for that? I do actually have the drone for that. So, given that's the case... You're cultivated, and you would be a pure common drone. So, actually, like, what do I want to mutate to make that happen? The problem is that there's a chance it mutates while we do this. Alright. I probably, you know what? No, hold on. I think, too late. I probably should have saved that common drone. Although I guess I can just basically take the common drone and start feeding it to the cultivated princesses. Like, it doesn't matter that much. So long as I can just basically breed more, it works. And we are starting to end up with a lot of honeycomb, which is actually quite nice. What was I working on this one? Your forest common. I'm assuming all these drones are just garbage. Yeah, these drones are garbage. So that goes into void. And then you are... Yeah, you're just a cultivated. So you can go back into the apiary. Okay, so the bee breeding is continuing. Slowly, but it is continuing. So let me throw the 31 combs and just dump you in there. Yeah, I can't even use pneumatic pipes to automate the apiary. It does seem like I'm going to need 2 apiarist pipes because I gotta put the drones in, and then I basically want to drop everything else but the items into the void, which isn't ideal, but I mean, okay, it works. I'm just kind of mentally doing the arithmetic of how I make this all work. So I can route the items. Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. There's some that I'm going to want the drones and some that I'm probably going to want the bee products out of. I guess, sort of, maybe, kind of. It kind of makes me think I'm going to need pipe wire to do this, like to fully automate it. Like, I don't know if I'm overthinking this, but doing this with Buildcraft feels like this is very painful. Is pipewire a thing in this version? Pipewire is in fact a thing in this version. Once I get more UU matter, I can at least start looking towards Logi pipes, which I guess is a good thing. How are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you're working on your 12 stack. So we're almost to having more stacks of rubber to make into more circuits for more solar panels. What else can we actually work on? Items of power, blood, sweat, and tears. I still don't have netherwort, so I can't work on that. Blood and water, things that make you go boom. Small but mighty, and shit ton of energy. So I did want to find out if the desert ones will actually breed in this biome. Because if they will, it does actually make this process a lot less sucky. No, it says temperature hot, humidity arid. They might breed in the nether. Tropicals will work in this one because it's down 1. Yeah, I would need a modest one that would work in this one. So the goal here is I want the darkened bee. And to get the darkened bee, because that's the road to the Omega bee. You have to combine a modest and wintry bee while having a dark matter block underneath the apiary and having a relay with at least one's worth of mutations. So if modest princesses would actually work in the nether, which we can test, that means as soon as we get a cactus, we can automate EMC through bees. And that sounds like something I very much want. Because the drops apparently are like the equivalent of a diamond. So it's a lot of EMC. How is this coming? That's a lot of... Yeah, alright. Let's go fill up our stars. Because I made the second one. And I'm getting the sensation I'm going to need a third one at the rate this is generating EMC. Which, if we do, yay. See how close we can get to filling this up. That being said, I actually have to make a third one. I mean, yeah, this just generates a lot of EMC. Just wish the table wasn't so annoying to work with. So that is filled up. That's filled up. That's filled up. Yeah, so these each, I think, hold about 3 million. Not quite. Yeah, that one's full. So let's start filling up the second one. Just so we have the EMC to spare. I mean, that does actually give us, like, enough for some red matter stuff. I don't know if that makes, like, a tremendous amount of difference, but we could definitely make red matter. I don't know if that's all that useful, but we can make it. And yeah, that gives us another million. So yeah, we have 5 million EMC between the two stars. So I'm going to check the full one in the box and just stop caring. So we still need to actually make biomass, which probably is, yeah, that's forestry biomass. It's fermenting plant matter in a fermenter, and it needs a catalyst. Oh, Lord. So it's fermenting plant matter in a catalyst. I'm assuming the easiest thing we can actually use is juice. Yeah. Oh boy. I'm just kind of... It's not actually that hard. It's just a matter of, like, actually doing it and, like, my brain becoming potato. Also, we've been going for 3.5 hours, and considering that I live streamed 3.5 hours of Greek, I'm sort of kind of reaching my limit of, like, what I actually want to do. Yeah, let me see here. I'm just, like, trying to think if there's anything else I actually want to do. I might AFK in the world for a while. Like, yeah, we just got our second UU matter. That's going to take a couple of hours. But it's kind of how this pack is going. I think we're going to want to extend this platform, like, all the way over here, because we're going to need the machine room and we're going to need the space. As far as, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, I can give up that one, but I don't want to. That being said, we've got more room for cables and circuits, so let's do that. 6. Yeah, I think we can get another stack of solar panels. Also, that needs some diamonds thrown in it. Stack of cables. Yep, and that is another 2 stacks of circuits, which becomes another stack of, let's see here. Do we have... Actually, we do have enough for 3 stacks of circuits, so let's make that. It's just crafting all the way down. My God. Nope, sorry, that was... I lied. We don't have enough rubber. So we'll come back to that. Because I really just want to craft it in full stacks. So I think we're going to just finish crafting out this batch of circuits and then kind of call it good. So yeah, I need 2 stacks of redstone and a stack. Actually, I need 4 stacks of redstone because this is enough for 2 stacks of circuits. Okay. Start crafting. It is satisfying to basically hand that all in. Okay, and stacks. So now we need another stack of these, which needs iron furnaces and... Well, actually, I have a ton of rubber in here. 3. I need more redstone. 3. So yeah, I can get another stack of generators. I need another 3 stacks of refined metal. And I need 8 stacks of iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, considering that this was the, like, what was effectively the first expert mod pack, I can completely understand why this was called Insanity. Like, one, 2, 3, and then we just need the glass. Which I hopefully have in a box so I can just grab it out of the EMCizer. Yeah, that's just a technical term I made up right there. 1, 2, 3. Like, I can't imagine ever making one of these without equivalent exchange. Well, maybe it's not actually that bad. I mean, all the base stuff... No, I mean, no, that's actually a ton of copper, and that's... I mean, I'm not even sure how much iron I have thrown at this, but it's a lot. Oh, right, I have to turn those iron furnaces into generators before that's going to work. Boink. Boink. Now we can do it. And that's 6/8 of the high voltage solar panel. Just to give you an idea of the absurdity that we are dealing with to build this thing. Also, I think my internet has officially crapped out. So, unless we've got... Yeah, that's still going to take more time to make the copper for what we need. I guess I'll start another bee breeding cycle. Yeah, let's just keep breeding these up. More drones for the drone god. I'm not sure what that one really gives me, but I guess it's useful. And yeah, so this is our common princess. So I was bringing another common over here. I think that was this one. Yeah, I was making you a common. And if that mutates, that's actually a good thing. So I have another 2 common drones. Yeah, so you're up here. So let me make you go, and then what are you? You're cultivated, and a cultivated forest. So yeah, I think you're a good candidate to try and mutate you, so in you go. And if we've got another cultivated lying around, it looks like I was trying to make you commons meadows. So let me finish converting you over to a commons. Yeah, you can go get yeeted. And you're up here commons. So, yeah, that's going. I mean, that's basically how bees work. They're not fast. And I have no way of automating them, so... Or at least I can't automate them well right now. That being said, I think I've got enough honeycomb that I can probably get 2 apiarist pipes. Yeah, let's... We can chuck the honeycomb in the squeezer. And let that run. And that's probably going to give us our first bucket of honey. And hopefully it'll be enough for a second. Like, I'm thinking about how you would still automate the hive, and it just seems very wonky to me how you would do it in this version. Although I guess you don't really care, because then it'll just keep a stack. Actually, it would take the items out. It would loop it around. And I guess it would void the drones. I don't know. It's like... I think I'm going to have to test that in a creative world. And also, I don't seem to be able to pull the wax out. But, yeah, I'm going to call it here. I think the internet is kind of dying on us anyway. So this is your host, N Commander, signing out, wishing you all pleasant day.